All right, we're here for episode 2 of this series. Like I said, I have no idea what it's actually going to be yet, but we're going around interviewing business owners from Australia. Today, we are at the System HQ. The System are a company that teaches people how to do matched betting effectively. If you don't know what matched betting is, we'll get into that in the video. So there's 3 of them. They're 3 business partners, JP, Steve, and Tom. Tom reached out to me like a year and a bit ago after seeing some of my work and was just like, what can you do for us? I sort of pitched Tom and Steve and then they were like, cool, let's do it. And then I ended up working closely with JP because they sort of split their roles in the company. So JP does a lot of the marketing stuff. Steve does a lot of like the tech and the back end stuff. Tom does a lot of like the sales stuff. So I work more closely with JP now, sort of just doing all the, well, I do their email marketing, obviously. We're just mates really too. Like, you know, I talk them through a lot of the different stuff they do from their like ad strategy and everything. So, you know, we just like it's always good chats when I sit down with JP or Tom or Steve because there's always this good related, I guess, or good things we can relate to on the business side. I think they're very interesting, like very down-to-earth blokes, and they get a pretty bad rap like in some of socials just because of like, I don't think everyone knows what match betting actually is or how it works. And when they say they just sell like a match betting course, they get looped in as like a course seller or, you know, they're selling fucking gambling things, which is just not the case at all. So I'm very keen to sort of chat through some of JP's opinions on that and, you know, how he deals with it because they're not a typical course seller, I guess. When people hear that someone sells a course, they get so defensive. They're like, oh, that person's a course seller, they must be a scammer, but it's just not the case. So it's going to be very interesting to show you like the value that they provide to their community as well and like how they go about doing that. Here he is, the big man. All right, so we're here with JP from The System. We'll do a little bit of a proper intro later, but we're going to go get some breakfast, get a coffee, but we're going to show you around the office first because I don't think many people know that these guys are sitting on this awesome office here in Melbourne.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bomb site at the moment, but start off with the toilets, or you don't want to go to the toilets? No. We've got a bunch of crap here because we've just done our podcast room, so we probably need to get rid of those seats. We have 6 working spaces, so I'm there, Greeny's here. Our editor just quit on good terms, but he's gone now. So
Yeah.
this desk is free.
In need of an editor.
Yes, this is Lenny's desk, which now moved into here, so we got him a nice...
That's a good setup. I think this is probably my favourite setup of the whole place. I was in here the other day, and that's what you need, dark room, nice light, and you'll plug away in there all day.
Those desks, I would highly advocate. I'm not an affiliate for Secret Lab, but they are definitely the best I've come across, as well as the chairs as well. This is like a spare room if you want to go a bit quiet, shut the door. Obviously, I haven't been working in here that much for the past 6 months. I've been doing my whole week mainly at home, and then we come in for strategy meetings Monday, Friday. But like, if I'm in here,
do you find it's been better at home, or
I don't get any work done in here because I'm terrible at getting distracted and distracting others. So it's better if I stay home.
Yeah.
This is Steve's area. He usually has a Carlton frame, but I don't know where that is. Tom's over there. As I said, I'm here. This is the main area. We've got 3 TVs. We used to watch the racing and stuff when we cared about the tips and stuff like that. Not that we don't care, but now we're more of a larger business to not care about the horse system as much as we used to. It kind of just happens in the background. Obviously couches, film pods here, kitchen, fridge.
Such a good setup for like all things content. Like,
yeah.
Having those couches and those cameras just on tap, I feel like that's every like business person's dream for content.
Yeah, it does well.
And you guys are getting this redone at the moment?
Well, we had shitty foam on this. We've now decked it out properly with, I don't know what they are. What are they called? Panels. They're like, because they're really expensive ones. I don't know. They're supposed to be better than what we had.
Was this the Pivotal guys or someone
Yeah,
else?
Pivotal did it.
Yeah.
They did it really well. You can already hear the sounds different in here. It still needs to get decked out.
This is so much better. Because was this the old stuff that was on it?
This is like literally cost like 40 cents each panel or something.
That's so nice. So you're going to do pods in here now?
Yes, but probably more
talking
filmed, talking out to the camera. Out there has a better background and makes it look
a bit more
like
natural.
We have an office.
Yeah.
We probably will do some pods in here. They've got like a light thing that moves.
That is sick.
But I don't know. I'm not the camera guy, so when we set it up, I'm sure it'll be good. I think we'll film maybe sitting here or something. But yeah, that's the office. We've got a rooftop and a boardroom that we use as well, but this is our space.
Yeah. So. How long have you guys been here?
18 months, maybe more, 20 months, almost 2 years in April. Yeah.
Yeah. And how big is the team? So you got Steve, you, Tom, Greeny, Lenny.
3 directors, so me, Steve, Tom, directors.
Yeah.
Greenie, Lenny, full time.
Yeah.
They're the mentors, work with the highest members of the community. And then we have about 8 to 10 subcontractors around Australia,
Yeah.
as well as probably 5 staff overseas who
Sick.
do random stuff, editing and
Big team.
Yeah,
It's come a long
it's about
way
20.
since, when did we start? Last September or something? You guys had what? Just the 3 of you, maybe?
Oh,
Lenny?
last year we would have
Oh,
had
Lenny.
maybe 8 to 10.
Yeah.
We also
okay.
have Johnny as well, who works in tech. He's behind the scenes operator. He's full time as
Sick.
well.
Ah, cool.
But yeah, we probably had like 5 or 6 last year. Now it's
Yeah.
moved to 10, then
Nice.
to 20. So
Jeez, a 3x.
yeah, similar to you.
Yeah.
It's been good. Good to
Yeah,
watch you grow
exactly.
at the same rate, maybe faster.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's been a big year. Well, we'll get into it a bit more, but we'll go get some breakfast and a coffee, and yeah, we'll take you guys with us and just chat some shit.
Sick.
Sick. These are the 5 questions I want to include in this series to ask everyone for a bit of consistency, so you can get a bit of comparison.
Yep.
But these are just rapid fire questions. If you want to elaborate, you can, but we'll
Yep.
try.
I'll try
we'll
to.
keep
I
them
talk too
light.
much, so I'll be
So,
quick.
A, how long have you been in business?
5 years in this business.
What about in total? When you start like hustling random shit?
Oh, when I was 16, selling soft drink cans.
So it was like 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Sick. Was this always the plan for you? I imagine not.
This business.
Yeah.
I always knew that I would be really good at something and really successful, but it took me 12 years into hustling to actually find this.
What about then when you actually started the Platinum in 2020? Was this the plan? Scaling it this much?
I didn't have a plan.
Yeah,
So
just swing it.
No.
No.
But after the vision of the first couple of years, seeing how big this could get, then it started to become
Started
the
to
plan,
develop
yes.
into the plan,
Yeah.
but initially you had no
No,
idea.
just do whatever.
Seems to be consistent. What's been your biggest struggle in the last year? Like, what's been the biggest thing in the last year that you've like had to deal with? Team stuff, acquisition stuff.
Managing new team members and also understanding that we are incompetent in a lot of things.
Yeah.
So working out that we're just not good at onboarding people, we don't have processes. Instead of thinking that the person is shit that we're hiring, we're actually shit.
Yeah.
And realizing that we need to get better.
Yeah, you guys are good at that now.
Well, maybe, but
Yeah.
we get better
I've
than
noticed that.
what we were. Yeah.
4th question. What is your biggest area of focus right now in the business? We covered this a bit in the video, but we'll obviously put this at the start.
Making shit. So making course content, being the, I guess the, not the brains, but the visionary behind a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So creating, being the brain for then Steve and Tom to make it happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like the ideas guy, and then they go and do it.
The
So,
executors, the
yeah,
operators.
making the course, doing the back end funnels and things like that, making the whole thing
Making it tick.
as big as it can. Yeah.
What's something, could be anything, I'm sure there's been tons of things, but what's something you were so certain was going to work and then it flopped?
So we paid an Instagram page $20,000 partnership, and we thought that they'd be really good affiliative partners,
Yeah.
but turned out they weren't.
Simo. No, that's
Well, that's another one.
yeah.
We didn't pay him 20K, but similar thing. We're like, get these guys. What I worked out in that was you can't force people to do shit that they don't want to do, or like to post or to believe in what you want.
So you paid 20K for an affiliate at the
Yeah, it was like per month.
Yeah.
But then we ended the, no, not 20K, 20K total.
Yeah.
But the contract ended 4 or 5 months into 12.
Yeah.
And we just paid them out a little bit more than remaining because we just wanted to cut ties because it just wasn't working. But
Yeah.
that was something, this was in 2022
Yeah.
or 2023.
I remember. I was around
Yeah.
for that.
People just don't understand. They don't know how to make money, so then they get triggered by other people making money, so they just instantly don't care. Like, they don't want to listen. They just say, fuck you, you're selling the course. I
Yeah.
work 9 to 5 internally. That's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then other people are just jealous that they wish they could do it.
Yeah. Or
I don't know.
I don't understand when people like don't, or they get like averse to wanting to give someone money to learn. Like they go,
Yeah.
and I think the hesitancy comes from there's a lot of like crap out there probably, but like
Yeah, but even if it's crap, just pay for crap and learn it's crap.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose if you pay for crap.
you have a
just learn.
very abundance mindset.
Yeah,
in
now.
that regard.
But I used to be full on,
Penny pincher,
yeah, I call them cent counters.
cent counters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've got a spectrum, a kind of self-invented spectrum.
Yeah.
Cent counter, upside chaser. The cent counter will pay with his time, energy, and destroy his progress. upside chasers pay with their money, but they save time, energy, and rapid progress.
Yeah.
It's just like leverage.
Yeah, I think it's like a key mindset shift when you're like, we actually chatted about this with Leo last weekend with Cam. It was like learning to detach your money from your time. Like Leo was saying, like a big thing for him, and I think a lot of people agree, is like when you start running a business or something and you've got to spend money on like creating leverage, you shoot yourself a bit because you're like, oh, that would cost me 5 hours of work, you know. And it's like you actually see it in the reverse way you should. It's like $100 is 4 hours of work for someone.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually, it's like spending $100 if that's freeing you up 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's like,
Fully.
yeah.
Yeah, we didn't fully understand leverage till probably middle of last year, start of this year.
Yeah.
For context, Leo came in our office, I reckon March last year, and I reckon he pitched us, and I can't remember the rate he wanted. Maybe, I can't remember if it was just like 20K flat, right? It was just nothing.
Yeah.
Just to be on our team.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're like, oh, like, we thought, yeah, it'd be worth it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
boss. Cheers. We
Yeah.
thought it'd be worth it, but then we just didn't do it. Obviously, we didn't have as much revenue stream then to leverage, but at the same time, we knew it was worth it, but we just didn't do it. And then you look back, and then he come in our office a year later, gave us, I had one convo with him, and I reckon our business has 2.5x from having one conversation with him.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, imagine if we actually got him on our team, where would we be now?
yeah.
That's an example of paying with time and energy and trying to save money
Yeah.
when you could have just paid with money and saved time and energy and progress.
Yeah, for sure. And
fucked.
like, I mean, it's interesting because we've both worked with Leo specifically. I don't want this. We're not giving Leo just free shout outs here. But like, nah, but it is true. Just regardless of who you talk to or like who you work with, like, I think spending money. But I do agree with what you said before. Of like, if you spend money on crap, you learn. Like, it's funny. A lot of people will talk about Iman Gaji. Obviously, like the fucking, you know, Iman or Iman, the king info product seller.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, oh, the courses aren't actually like that good, like they don't actually teach you much. But like something someone said to me once about that, I remember saying to them like, oh, I heard this course wasn't actually that good. And they were like, who cares? It's like $1,000, you pay it, and if anything, you just learn that there's more out there.
Yeah,
like you're
it's the
paying
butterfly effect
$1,000.
of buying the course makes you then do other shit.
Yeah, or you pay $1,000 and you get all shitty, and then it actually gives you a kick up the arse to go work out how to make some coin.
But I still don't believe that people sometimes who have this entitlement mindset will always be like, oh, I didn't learn anything from your course.
Yeah.
Like we get one in maybe 50 people say that.
Yeah.
And it's like, brother, there's 30
How
hours
do they
of
not
content.
know? Yeah.
You have made $10,000 match betting. We've made over $1 million. Like, I guarantee you there's something in there you learned. You just don't really, you're not in a mindset where you're looking to learn. You're just being like, I want to know that I have all the information and I want to say I knew it all before I got here and I didn't learn anything. Like, bro, you're not going to, Hormozy says, someone who always wants to learn will always pass someone who is just good.
Yeah.
Or thinks they're good.
Yeah.
Because the person who wants to learn is always looking for more.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's like, and when it comes to you guys, like Platinum, I don't know if you can be talking about the price,
it's
but
fine.
Platinum costs like $1,000, and you'd say 99% of people who actually sit down and do the course would make easily more than $1,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, because we've made it even better and better, we've made it, at the start, it was different. People potentially would have got lost at the start, maybe 2021, 2022. It was kind of a different industry. Now it went 2023. Again, people somewhat get overwhelmed by maybe the slow start. Like we focus very heavily on mindset, getting the foundations right. So some people who are quick fix chasers will be like, fuck this, I don't want to watch 20 hours of content, I'm done. But nowadays, like weekly webinars, that's been huge because now they're getting that as well. So if they feel lost, they just get on a webinar every week and there's 50 people on it and they're like, fuck, what the fuck am I doing?
But out of like, for people who actually sit down, start to finish, watch all the content, it'd borderline be impossible not to make $1,000.
100%.
And so it's like, when people say, like, I see so many comments on things where it's like, oh, like, you know, if they knew how to do match betting or if they knew the method, like, why would they sell it? And it's like, in my opinion, it's like a win-win scenario.
Yeah.
Like, obviously for you guys, like, it's a cool business model to be able to, like, sell info products. That's just the reality. But if people are only giving you $1,000 and you're teaching them how to make 10K, it's like, what the fuck is that not a good, like, win-win scenario?
Yeah,
I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I've been talking about this in my own content recently. It's when you think someone else is benefiting from what you're paying them for, you then don't buy it.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Angus. I'm not buying you $1,000 thing because you're going to get $1,000.
Yeah.
But in the process, what you're saying is I don't want to get better.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying Angus, but now I'm not getting better. So you just killed yourself.
I've had that with clients recently where like they obviously like I'm running a business and they pay me and they want me to operate like a freelancer. And like when I say, oh no, like I'm outsourcing the design like to my designers who I fucking pay for and train myself, or you know I've got a copywriter who does this bit and this bit, and like they go, oh what do you mean like you're not doing it? And it's like what do you want me to do? Like you're paying for my system and my team and my training. You're not paying for like me to sit there with my time.
If it gets done to the same level or a similar level, which it will, then it's irrelevant.
And then like, yeah, for sure. And I think it's like when you're buying into a business, you're also buying into like all their assets. Like for you guys, it's like if someone buys into the Platinum community, they're getting you, Tom, Steve, Blenny, Greeny, like everyone is in there.
And 1,500 now members.
1,500 members.
Which is huge.
All the knowledge that comes with that. And it's like you're not just paying $1,000 for JP to sit there and say like, oh, here's how you match bet. Like you're literally buying into like just years and years of knowledge and systems.
Well, you just fast track because I would have made 100K worth of mistakes. You just get them by paying $1,000 with everything else. Anything that we know, we're going to tell you straight away. Anything the community finds out, you're going to know straight away. Anything that's random as, you're going to know. Versus trying to work it out on your own. Just imagine where you could get to. It's not even about the course. Imagine where you could get to by yourself versus working with 1,500 people. Yeah. Like who's going to win?
No brainer, yeah. A bit on the, like the nitty gritty side of growing a business. Like you just said, you're 1,500 members now over what, like 2 years?
Since 2020 March. So
yeah,
almost 5.
5 years.
4.5.
Obviously the growth curve there is probably like exponential.
Yeah, definitely.
Where like in terms of like when it comes to generating leads for you guys, how has your mindset changed from March 2020 when you were in the trenches probably getting like your first 1 to 10 members versus now when you're thinking of like, oh, how can we get our next 1,500? Like where was like your head at, I guess, with the lead gen back then in March?
There was no strategy. It's just we've made this and posting on my personal Instagram. Hey, look, buy this.
Yeah.
I made a course. Like, There's no strategy.
It's funny, Louis Phillips said that exact thing yesterday. So when he built the app back in like last March, all he was thinking about was, I want running app. I have running app. I'll post that I have running app.
Yeah.
And like that's the extent of things. And like you really neglect like at that time at least of sitting down and thinking like, oh, you know, I've got this sick product now. I'm actually gonna like get distribution. Day 8, no coffee.
Yeah, I've started again. Stupid rules that I make.
Yeah.
I'm still convinced coffee's no good.
Why? Long term? Or?
I just don't know. I just bad vibes.
Yeah.
It makes me feel weird. It's good, but then when I don't have it, I feel better.
How many days do you go without before you feel good?
I did 30 days about 3 months ago.
I remember that.
And then I went straight into 2 a day for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's too much.
Yeah, I don't think I could quit. Like, I would have to really like...
Limiting belief.
Yeah. I would have to just try.
The first 3 days, I promise you, like the last week I've started, so day 8, the first 3 days I was falling asleep so early in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was because I had a shit sleep or not. But it definitely...
I found the days that I haven't, like, I've just gone without a coffee, is like I'll actually have an awful sleep that night because I'm probably full withdrawing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely something that happens. Yeah. But after day 3, it's just normal. Now I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, going back to the question. So started out personal posting, social media page, no face, just posting like screen recordings of what the methods were. Join this.
Just on Instagram?
Yeah, just Instagram. No TikTok, no YouTube. And then we got probably 50 people in the first 6 months or so. And then, so it's just me. Then Tom and Steve got involved.
That's pretty good. 50 in 6 months.
Yeah, but the price was 300 for the first 30, then 500 for the next 20, and then 797, and then it went up to 1,097. But yeah, Tom and Steve got involved end of 2020 with the horse system. Yeah. But I was silent in that. So then that started a new business, and then from there we discovered TikTok.
So you partnered with Tom and Steve to do the horse system.
Yeah.
But
so
you just weren't operating it.
No, it started free.
Yeah. Oh, so it was a free service.
Yeah, it started free for about 2 months. Yeah. And then we launched paid in March 2021. Yeah. But the whole time I was the guy behind, like no one knew. They thought it was Tom and Steve. No one knew I exist. I'm like, bro, I'm going in this, I'm silent. Yeah. But eventually maybe we'll go public. But I just wanted to protect my diversified risk essentially. I don't know,
you were an osteopath at the time.
No, that was done. I stopped at 2020 before I started the Hustler Squad,
Okay,
which
yeah,
is now
yeah.
the system. But yeah, then we started TikTok middle of 2020.
Yeah.
2021, and then that just blew up.
Yeah.
Like I remember one week we got 110 new Horse System members from one video.
Wow.
So it was just like one video, 80,000 views, and then I think
That's
like
all it was.
70 members in 3 days, and then it trickled into the next week, 110 members. And then we slowly grew from there. But to answer your question, now we have so much more avenues. When our TikTok wasn't moving, we had no leads, no
Yeah.
DMs, because we filter from TikTok to DM on Insta,
Yeah.
and then personal responses, filtering them through the free course or personally selling them.
So you had the free course at the time as well?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that part
free-
of when you first launched?
Free course was the first thing, then Platinum, then Horse System, and then the machine around
When
that.
you launched the free course,
Yep.
did you know at the time, like, I'm going to use this as a lead gen tool?
No,
Or was
I
it
had
just
no
like,
idea what I was doing. I
Yeah.
would just make a free course. Well, the idea was free course to Platinum. That was the only strategy that I know.
Yeah.
So it was like teach people how to do match betting for an hour
Yeah.
and a half. And looking back on the course, it's probably still pretty good, but it was very much monotonous, no face, just voice, audio over a PowerPoint.
Really?
So it still worked though because it's showing people what to do. And then people would be interested, hey, I want to join Plat. But now it's so much better, like more greater editing, greater visuals.
It's crazy. It's like the original lead mag. It's like when you talk about businesses today, like everyone is like on Instagram with the words like, comment word thingo down
Yeah.
below. They send the free guide, they take the email, they
Yeah.
rinse them until they buy. Or, send the appointment setters after them. For you, it's like your first lead mag was like almost accidental in like 2020 and was like, has been probably the main driver of
Yeah.
the main conversion mechanism.
Yeah, for sure.
you guys.
But at the same time, because I recently read $100 million offers from Hormozy, and looking at our thing, we know that our offer is broken from our free course, so people don't actually know what they're signing up to. Like, hey, here's a free course on match betting, but like, what does it get me? What is the dream outcome? How long is it going to take me? What is my effort and sacrifice? And now, after breaking down his value equation, it's like dream outcome is we have now changed the free course and it's about to launch again. We've just spent 2 months filming 6 videos, 45 minutes, not an hour and a half of maybe 24 videos. Then it gets an added videos 27, and then it's 21 if we take a few out, and then people just get confused.
Yeah.
6 videos, and in that free course, you're going to spend 45 minutes and you're going to learn how to make $1,000.
So 6 videos for total 45 minutes
Yeah.
and teaching them how to make $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah, the offer equation is like, I think like anyone who is trying to start a business, mainly a service or info sort of based, is like probably should read that
Yes.
book. I haven't even read it, but
I can't believe I didn't read it until year 5 of the
Yeah.
business. It's so simple when you look at it like that. And then taking that to Platinum now, the Platinum offer is going to be, we'll teach you how to make $1,000 a month, and you pay $1,000. And you can work less than 5 hours a week. So pay $1,000, learn how to make $1,000 a month ongoing. Free course, 45 minutes, learn how to make $1,000 for free.
it's
Like,
such a
very
stupid,
clear.
simple offer, And like, it's good that you guys are pivoting to that because it's like, I think like a lot of people who I've worked with who maybe where you guys were, like just by design of what I do and like post on social media,
Yeah.
like, so I get people who come through like and talk to me, or like I've had older clients and like they just get stuck at say like 5 to 10K a month in their business, which might sound like a lot, but like when you've got overheads and shit, like 5 to 10K
That's
a month
nothing.
is nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like they genuinely just don't have an offer. Like, and I was actually talking about this exact thing with Louis yesterday, which is like how to craft like a good offer. Thank you. How to craft like a good offer that actually just says what it is in a sentence. Like if
Yeah.
you have a business model and you're asking someone to do something and you can't say what you're asking them to do in 10 seconds, well then it's like inherently flawed. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm probably with you guys in the
Well,
past
we
with
don't
the
have,
free
we don't have
course.
this still. We
Yeah.
don't have that is going to be from this point on when it's not even launched yet.
Do you know how many people have done the free course?
Yeah, like 14,000.
Yeah. That's massive.
So yeah, from that we were running at about 10%
I guess
conversion.
it was like an offer. Like for 14,000 people to do it.
Yeah, there's interest, but it's not clear. There's enough attention and there's enough that's curious. I want to learn that. But it is not very much a one sentence. You get this for this much time. Thanks. Yeah, cheers.
Thank you.
It's not clear cut.
Yeah.
And that basically destroys your conversion. Because if people don't know what they're getting, then they're less likely to actually stick around. There's more
Like once
friction.
they've signed up.
Well, they do the free course, they watch the first video, and it's me talking about mindset for 5 minutes. Who the fuck's this guy? I don't want to learn about this. I want to make money. And then they're done.
Yeah.
Like, so many people sign up and do one video and then never see
And they'll
it
probably
again.
sign up off seeing like a YouTube video where you're interviewing one of your members. And
Yes.
they're like, oh, I made 30K in 3
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then like they're like, oh, sick, I want to do the free course. And then
Yeah.
it's just like getting rinsed.
Yeah, and the free course now is very much just shit talk. It's still good, but it's if you're not patient and if you're not actually going to watch it with a plan, long-term plan, you're probably not going to do much from the free course because it doesn't show you how to make money as much as it should. Whereas now the new one's going to be like, we're going to make money from the moment you open up the video. It's me making money off a bonus. Then it
Yeah.
goes to Steve making money and Tom making money, and it's like all making money rather than slow progression mindset and you need to be patient and full rants and all that
100%.
shit.
It's probably been the same with me when like I first partnered with you guys. I remember I sort of pitched Tom and Steve separately. So Tom booked a call with me and he was like, what do you do? I was like, I do email marketing. And then he was like, okay, sick. And then he was like, you should talk to Steve. And then I sort of like pitched Steve, but I didn't really like have like an offer. And I think just because we got along, like Tom and Steve were like, yeah, sick, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then after like 2 months, we were like, what the fuck's actually happened here? Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, I probably didn't explain it well enough. And then like since then, it's like very clear cut with my offer. It's just like you've got to be able to tell people exactly what you're giving them. And if you're someone out there who's like starting something and you're trying to like pitch people or prospect or hustle, like if you're going to approach someone and ask them for their time, like you need to like tell them exactly what they're going to get. Like it's so much more powerful. Like if you're going to send someone a DM and say, hey man, like, you know, I do email marketing and I do it for all this and this and this and I like think I could help you. That's so much weaker than like, hey, I do email marketing, like let me audit your account and find something that'll improve performance by 10%.
Yeah. Well, you said
Such a
that,
good pitch.
let me do it. I would almost go a step further and actually do it for them without telling them.
Yeah.
Because recently I got an editor of Twitter from Canada, and we've I reckon I would have spoken to and dealt with maybe 15 to 20 editors over the past 24 months.
Yeah.
Because content is so crucial. If you're not doing content in your business, you're an idiot, like,
Yeah.
flat out.
Yeah, yeah.
But the more you can do, the more views you're going to get, the more attention, the more fucking you grow, right? This guy, he basically, I reached out to him on Twitter. He made this awesome VSL. He's like, I am an editor, but I understand funnels. I understand business. I am not this editor who just makes content. I make content for businesses, understanding their flows and funnels
Designed
and
to
things like
convert.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Because he understands that, or he's more of a business guy than an editor, but he's just an editor.
Yeah,
if that
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Then I reached out to him. I'm like, hey man, I like your stuff. He just goes and makes a fucking loom. He sends me a document. He goes and audits our YouTube without telling me. I'm like, bro, you're hired. Go do this.
Yeah.
Like, and then now I'm working with him, and now I can see the upside. Now the other day he sent me a Miro board. He's like, you guys need to do this, 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 this. You need to stop doing this. And like some of the stuff is just wrong because he doesn't know our business yet.
Yeah.
But the ideas are there enough.
And the initiative.
And the initiative correct. That's the
Yeah.
big thing. It's like that guy's doing shit for free. People who give before wanting to get paid, and then you get other people. It's like, send me money before you do this task.
Yeah.
It's like, see ya.
Yeah, yeah. I get like, when I try to hire people now, I come up with like an assignment.
Yeah.
And I say like, to submit your application,
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
actually just got to design this email for me.
Yeah.
Or write this email. But I've had like, I hired a copywriter from Ireland and he, like I posted something on Twitter, you probably saw it, and I said like, I'm trying to find a copywriter. He went to my website, found like 5 brands I was working with, wrote like 2 emails for each of the 5 brands, sent me the Google Doc, and I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, like that's the best job application
Yeah.
I've like ever received.
You just delete everyone else.
Yeah, I just hired him straight away.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it.
Oh yeah, you got to get them to do the thing.
Yeah.
If you hire someone, and you don't get them to do the thing, you're done.
yeah.
Like you're gonna run into problems straight away.
Yeah.
I'm want to hire a videographer. Follow me around. That's your job. Like I'll pay you, but you got to like do it. Otherwise, we're not going to go through interview questions and this, everything else but doing the thing.
Yeah.
Teach them, like, do the thing, and then
In some of my roles, I don't even like interview, like for when I'm hiring an email designer, I'll post like, design these 2 emails. They'll design them. That's their job application, and then I'll just text them back and forth. Maybe hop on a call. It's like, are you going to be like somewhat of a good cultural fit, and can you do your job?
Yeah.
So it's like somewhat. Sometimes it's just that simple, but you just got to be willing to like invest your time into getting something.
Yeah.
But it is so big. Like I'm sure you guys get probably prospected and pitched with shit like that all the time.
Yeah, my Twitter DMs, because I follow some blue tickers, and I'm a blue tick. I just
Yeah.
get hammered every day by people who just, hey, do you want more leads? Do you want me to set up 20 appointments? And I just ignore them all. Some of them, I'm like, okay, do this, and they don't do it. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, you're not good.
Yeah.
If you're good, you would just do it.
You
and
just
then,
do it.
not that I'm trying to get things out of people for free.
You're just looking for a bit of traits from yourself and people,
Yeah,
I think.
just like do some stuff, earn some trust, give some free stuff away, give your time away, and then eventually you'll get rewarded.
My
later.
first ever client, I said this when I spoke to Ken last week, was 9 to 5 Fitness, and the way that I started working with them was I offered like an undisclosed amount of free work. I just said, I will work for you for free until it makes sense to pay me. And then I just did it. And I did it for like 6 weeks of like free work.
Did you have money at that time?
I had a job. I was working like casual in a warehouse. I was probably earning like $400-500 a week. Like I was.
So how much money do you have? $5,000 to your name, was it less?
Probably less. I probably had like $1 or $2 grand. I was like 19,
Yeah.
and I probably had like $2 grand in my name.
Yeah.
It didn't even occur to me that like I wanted to make money. It was like I just want to make connection, because I think I didn't know it at the time, but I was subconsciously like having a connection here and doing good work. That's going to be like my foot in the door. And so next time I go to pitch someone, I can say, hey, I've done work for these guys too. And it's like, it's just, I sort of just envision the snowball a little bit.
Yeah. I think if you be less transactional, so if you're always looking for, like for example today, right? Let's just say that I was transactional here and like, it's a hard example, but I don't want you to, like let's just say I had a 15,000 audience and you have a 2,000 audience.
Yeah.
Ooh, Angus is leveraging my audience to post on these socials. Bro, shut up. Just grow together. Delete any transactional, just give to other people, want them to win as well, and you'll be fine. People literally go through life. It's like, I did this for you, now you got to do it for me.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm only doing this for you because if you do this for me, you won't get far.
And I mean, one thing I'm curious about with your content is like something I see in my content, like what you were just saying then, like, and I know you weren't having a dig, but for example, like a lot of people will see me posting just relentlessly, and I'm just shy of 3,000 followers, or something. And they probably look and they'll see a video where I have like 500 views, and they'll go like, oh fuck, like he's battling. But in reality, like I'll get a video with 500 views, and that might book 2 calls with someone who owns like $1 million a year e-com brand. And it's like, for me, getting a video with 50 views, if they're the right people, are like key. But for you guys, you've probably gone through a blend of virality versus really niche content and just back and forth. How do you manage that, like on a technical level, like when you're planning? And I know it's something you've probably ebbed and flowed about a lot, just from what I've seen in the last few months. But how do you plan, like, we want to go viral to an extent, but we also want to attract leads when we're posting content?
Yeah, so the content agency that we hired are all about views, which isn't bad, right? For context, we have always, like, views are good, right? If you get 100,000 views, even if you might not get as many leads ratio-wise as you would on a highly converted video, 100,000 views versus 2K views, you're going to win with more leads or more views, right? So it's a balance. If you want to get, like Steve posted a video when the finals came around, it got 1.3 million views. It was the ice skater guy, Stephen Bradbury. And it had like Carlton making the 8 because you don't watch AFL. Anyway, they just scraped in. It got 1.3 million views. We would have got, I reckon, 20 followers from that. Like, it's because it's fully not relevant to our niche. It's not relevant to what we're posting. Then Pivotal edited this Uber video, right? And it got 190,000 views. Thank you.
Thank you.
That video got us 4,800 followers. So we had 10,000 followers. We now have 15.9K. That video literally 1.5x our entire audience of 4 years in one video. So we've just gone 150% total Instagram followers. But in terms of, you can't really control how viral a video is going to go. I mean, you can make it more viral, you can focus on hooks and things like that. But reality is, if you put all your work into one video, and that's just one video, then you're done. Whereas if you put 100 videos, there's a chance there'll be 5 outliers in that'll blow up your channel. What I'm trying to get at is, and you mentioned it, you're posting. You're just doing reps. And you're learning and iterating based on the content that you do. You're learning off, oh shit, that was a shit hook, that didn't go well. You're constantly thinking and changing things. But you can't do that unless you do a lot of reps. If you post 20 videos in a year versus 2,000, who do you think's going to win?
It's also though, like, I've been stuck in things myself. Like, it's funny, I'm learning so much in this content convo because it's something I struggle with. But like, I've been stuck in things where I've done the reps mindlessly, and then you get to 6 months down the track and you haven't actually like reflected on the reps, and it's like, oh, I'm still getting 500 to 1,000 views on every video 100 posts later.
So
And
you're
it's
not changing anything you're saying?
no, it's like it almost takes a skill to do the reps, but also as you're doing them, iterate and learn like what worked in that one, that didn't work in that one, and so on and so on.
Yeah, Brian's really good at this. He pulls apart videos really well.
Yeah.
They'll send him a couple of things and he just nails them. He's like, bro, that's shit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Shit in my mouth more and I'll grow more. It's like,
Legit.
but sometimes you need to actually get told by people who are way better than you, just, that's shit.
Yeah.
Like, no offense. But
Raise your
that's shit.
standards. Fuck, that's it, bro.
I used to do all-nighters like all the time for work,
Yeah.
but now I've tried to balance it a little bit more with...
I can't do it, eh?
Well, sometimes, yeah, I'd make a new course or a new video or a deadline and I have to do it. And the way I work, I'd say I'm self-diagnosed ADD, which means that I always put off tasks till the last minute and then hammer the shit out of them late. Like did it with exam study, SACs. Used to fucking do terribly on all these little mock tests at school and then just hammer the SAC and get 95. And everyone would just hate it because I just cram and then nail it.
Got it, yeah.
And then
I mean,
get away.
whatever works for you, I guess. One thing I'm curious about, like, I was speaking to Louis, I find this thing really interesting, is like the way that you split your roles in your business, because it's something that I'm learning at the moment with like the guy who I'm partnered with. And it's just like the most efficient way to split your roles. And I feel like it's a learning curve for everyone. Like when you start your business, there's always like some weird overlaps. Everyone wants to be involved in everything because it's exciting. It's like, but as you go, that gets counterproductive. And it's probably been a recent shift for you guys. Like I was even talking to Steve about it whenever I was in your office. And it's like you guys now have such clear lanes.
Yeah.
Like how do you go about identifying who should be responsible for what, and has it helped?
And until the start of this year, even up until like March, I promise you, every single thing that happened in the business, all three of us would be involved in it.
Yeah.
Imagine how dumb that is.
I remember when I was working with you guys, and it was like you would have to review an email, and there'd be like 3 sets of feedback coming
Yeah,
through.
it's like you're probably thinking, what the fuck's wrong with these guys?
Yeah.
But yeah, since March, we've split. Now, this might sound weird to some people, but I don't know what Steve's doing in tech until this Friday strategy meeting. Like he just goes and does it for the whole week. I don't know what Tom's doing with member acquisition and like sales, and they don't know what I'm doing in my areas. But then we just collaborate every single Friday. That's a game changer because all of my mental energy is not worrying about, I don't know, 10 parts of the business that they're just doing, and they're not worrying about my parts, and then we just so much more scalability that way.
Yeah.
In terms of how we know which areas are what, it's just based on our strengths and weaknesses. So Steve is easily the most process driven. He's an engineer by trade, so he knows, okay, like this needs to happen before this, whereas I will just do things in a weird order and get it done, and maybe that's not the most efficient.
Especially when you're actually building back-end systems, you fuck it pretty quickly.
So I have my strengths and weaknesses, Tom has his, and then we go away. I'm probably the most powerful in the maker side of things. So like Hormozy says maker manager. So Layla's like a manager. Yeah. He's a maker.
The visionary.
Yeah. So I'm the maker, have been since day one. But I also have high influence with content and personal, I guess, personal impact on people if I'm talking to them personally. So like the high-end members of the community, I talk to them. Yeah. Previously, I would be involved in all like DMs, going from free course to platinum, sending 8 minutes of voice manually on Instagram for the first 3-4 years of the business.
That's crazy.
Then Tom started doing that. Now we have a team doing that. And then I've slowly gone away to the base and built, like now I'm building the free course, that's my role. I've built platinum, that's my role. I'm building the funnels around it, that's my role.
So you also have ambitions to scale into the US?
Yeah.
Like that would be probably driven by you to an extent?
Yeah, now we're all three.
But
yeah, I mean, this business started for the US. In 2020, it was supposed to be for the US.
Why did you want to start in the US first?
Because back then, the US industry wasn't... So online is all separated into their 50 states or whatever. Yeah. So New York is a different law to Nevada.
Yeah.
So the sports betting over there, online sports betting, was illegal in pretty much all states until recently. They've started to... Now there's about half the states available. So my mate, who is no longer there because he works in Ethiopia and he sort of just committed to that life and didn't stay with this. his idea was, bro, let's take match betting to the US because it's starting there, which in theory is fucking a genius idea. And if we were there now, we would be much bigger.
Yeah.
But then it was a case of, fuck, I know so much about Australia. I've made 300K off these bookies in 6-7 years. Why am I doing US? I just talk about what I've done here. And then that grew into, fuck the US, I'm doing Australia.
Yeah.
And then that's grown into 5 years of business.
Yeah, so it just came down to leaning into your actual strengths, really.
Yeah, there's no point talking about... I mean, you can still teach match betting because it's the same thing over there, but I haven't done it there to be an expert on it.
Yeah.
So I just looked at the competitors in the market in Australia, and I'm not a business expert, or I was fully no clue, but I was half switched on. I've done fucking 30 side hustles and always looked to make money in certain areas through my 20s. And I'm just like, this is shit. I'll make that better. Like, whether that's arrogance or delusion or just... I'm like, I can make this better, and I think there's an opportunity here. So started it, and that's how it started. Yeah.
Very interesting. It's like, it's almost a bit of like a lady in the red dress thing. Like, it's one of Hormozy takes that I do like, because I get it so bad.
I'm badass.
Like, I'll look at any sort of business model and be like, oh, that looks sick. Yeah. And then I'm like, no, I just need to fucking focus on what I'm actually good at. But the US probably seemed like the bigger, funner, fancier market at the time. I was literally speaking to Leo about this the other day, and Louis Phillips yesterday. Everyone I've spoken to in the last week has just sort of like said, to an extent, they've either planning on or wanted to dabble in the US first before realizing that Australia was actually like, there's so much here. I think people really think of Australia as like, oh, it's a smaller market, like all the opportunities in the US. But for my agency, like, we've fully just done Australia. Like, I've got a few people overseas, but like all of my targeted acquisition has been in Australia, and it's been like fine.
Yeah, I think I was reading something. I think we're the fourth richest country in the world.
Really?
Is that
per
right?
capita, or
Do you know? No.
should we fact check? Nah, let it fly.
Yeah, that's probably wrong.
Maybe per capita.
There's something
or
to do with. No, I think that could be right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something. It's maybe not richest, but it's something along those lines. I mean, we're not a poor country. People generally have money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely. There's 26 million people here. There's 300 million in the US.
Yeah.
So it's like 10x audience.
But there's also like way less people doing things here because it's correlated, right? It's relative. Like, for example, like in my industry, like I was literally sitting down with Cal, my business partner, the other day, and I was like, "Who are our biggest competitors?" And I was almost like, I genuinely think like we're the biggest email agency now in Australia who specifically does e-commerce stuff. It's niche as, but it's like in the US, I know of at least like 3 or 4 people who are bigger than us.
Yeah.
But in Australia, I actually think we've like taken the title, and I was like, it is crazy to think that like, although Australia's 10 times smaller, like there's 10 times less people probably competing in your niche.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at it like that, I don't know who else is an email marketing agency. I wouldn't be able to tell you one. But that's because I haven't really looked. But it doesn't sound like there's a lot of them.
No, but that's a good thing that I was taught about, like, when you're doing limiting beliefs, when you're trying to scale your business, is like, everyone sort of goes like, oh, like, you know, I've got to compete with this guy and this guy. And it's like, if you actually ask your clients how many match betting, like if you ask people in the platinum community, like, how many match betting companies do you know, or people who teach it, they might know one, but most of them are like, I don't fucking know. Same with you guys. If I said, oh, how many other competitors of mine did you consider? You'd probably be like, none. No one really knows other things outside their circle.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably like a good lesson for a lot of people who are trying to start something, like in the service niche at least.
Well, yeah, Hormozy, I keep referencing Hormozy. People think I have
You've just read his book,
affiliation with him. But no, he's the biggest guy that I look up to for sure, and his shit works, so why not tell others? But we operate in a market, in a competitor of one, because we've made ourselves so different to everyone else that there is no competitor.
Built the moat.
Sorry?
Built the moat.
The moat.
Like when you think of the castle, you build the moat around you.
Yeah, I mean, the analogy might work when I have to think about how that actually comes together. But essentially what I'm saying is we're doing things that no one else is doing, so therefore we have no competitors.
Yeah.
Like you can, for example, we have a product that's at the top, like our mentorship. It is so far out of it's 25 times the platinum cost, right?
Yeah.
No one else is selling anything that is in that vicinity.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we're ripping people off, but it means that what we're providing in that 25K product is so much different, and that's why there's no competitors. So when people see that, they're like, oh fuck, well that's obviously like amazing, and it's structured and it's made so much better than everything else, that it's just in a market of one. So you have no competitors.
Yeah.
And when you do that, so it's not about the price. The price is in a market of one, but it's not. The reason why the price is in a market of one is because of the value that's in it.
The product.
So what's actually being served and what's being given and what the client or the member gets, that is not anywhere near anything else. So therefore, it's like, well, fuck. You could charge $100K for that because there's no one else doing it.
It's interesting because it's like when you think of like what actually constitutes a good offer, it's obviously like clarity, what you're, whatever it is you're offering, clear messaging.
Yeah.
But like social proof and trust is like a big part of it, and it's something that you guys have probably like had to go against the grain to build because of the skepticism in the industry to a degree. But it's like if you're offering someone the mentorship for 25K, it's like I know just from speaking to Steve, like whoever has bought that mentorship has gone on to shit cash way more than 25K, and it's like it's so easy for you to go to someone and be like, you might say charging 25K is a lot, but it's like, yeah, sick. We made the other 10 people who bought it 50K.
Yeah, the dream outcome, so the offer there is pay 25K to learn how to make a minimum of 10K every month.
Yeah.
So if you look at it like that, you pay 25K once to learn how to make 10K a month.
It's easy.
Well,
it's a
10K, 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 10K in 12 months is 120K. You pay once, 25. Pretty, like, it makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that's probably been a big success for you guys is like, you just talk in dollars. It's very simple. It's like, and it's even with the platinum, it's like if you don't make $1,000 or something, refund. It's like, it's very easy to break down. And where so many people go wrong, I think, is like, it's just, the ROI is just not clear. Like having a guarantee is huge. Having the social proof is huge. Having like the outcome outlined is huge. And it's probably just let you like, let
the social proof and what's the word? Like the credibility and legitimacy. The fact that we've been here for 5 years. Like if you go look at our hate, if there was a hate meter of all the different comments, I would love to go back and get them all.
Yeah.
But the hate has changed from you're a scam, what the fuck is this, to then, oh fuck, this works, fuck these guys, why are you selling a course if you just did this, to, oh, you charge too much, or like it's changed because people have slowly worked it out. And then when you have 50 member interviews on your YouTube, it's like, bro, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
You can't say anything anymore.
The interviews are a good testimonial thing. I recommend doing that to anyone. Like, even like I can sit down with you and call this a fucking interview. But if you can get in front of your clients on Zoom and just get them to like chat you through like their success, that's so good for you.
Yeah, like we had a webinar. We've added platinum webinars weekly for the past 17 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that's just free value for anyone who's joined Plat. That wasn't there before, but now it's just like, okay, you join Platinum, you get a weekly webinar. Another value stack. We got a member on Thursday, 2 days ago, and he's made 100K. And there's 50, 60 people just watching this guy in awe. Like he's made 100K. It took him 2.5 years, and now he's making 15 to 20K a month. Yeah. But imagine sitting there, day one, month one, as a platinum member, and seeing some guy made 100K who's 22 years old, about to quit his job, move to Melbourne from Tassie, and it's like, well, he started with $2,000, and he told that story, and it's like, well, bro, and all the people are just gonna like do that. They want to do that. They want to be him.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you mentioned the value stack. One thing a guy I was learning from taught me about like actually creating a value stack for your offer is like everything that you include in your value stack should almost be able to independently justify the price.
Yes.
So if you're talking about platinum, even if you didn't have 30 hours of content and you said pay $1,000 and we'll let you into our community with 1,500 people, like sure it would be a tougher sell, but just being in that community would be worth $1,000.
100%.
And just being in the mentorship, just paying 25K to have a conversation with someone, or to have like 2 weeks worth of conversations with someone who makes 100K a month or something, you're like, oh, sick. Like that's a fucking no-brainer.
That there is Spectrum, Cent Counter, Upside Chaser. You actually understand that value because you know that if you have a conversation with someone that's way better than you, you're going to get better. Like you said, you went to Leo just to follow him around because you know it's going to make you better. Like, but then people don't want that. They want to be like, I want to do this myself. I can do it myself, and then they just avoid, and they don't spend the money.
Yeah.
And then they just sometimes they don't even know that they're paying so much ignorance tax.
Yeah.
Ignorance tax is a massive one.
Ignorance tax, that's a good deal.
If you're making 10K a month, let's just say with match betting, I mean that's a lot of money in the space on average. It's not a lot of money in context to what some members are doing. Yeah. But even if it's just like you're making 2K a month, right? And you want to make 10K a month, but you don't know how, you don't have the skills, you don't have the competence, you're paying $8,000 a month, every month in ignorance tax. So at the end of the month, at the end of 12 months, you're paying 96K. So if you just pay 25K, you now have 75K ahead, or whatever it is.
Yeah. Ignorance tax is such a good insight because, like, man, the amount of people who, like, you could just, I don't know. You could always just pay someone ahead of you to sit down and get advice too. Like,
Yeah.
I wish if I went back like a year, I wish I'd just paid someone. And there's so many people out there. I wish I'd just paid someone ahead of me and said, like, could you just sit down with me for 5 hours?
Yeah.
And I'll pay you whatever the fuck you want, almost.
Yeah.
Like, obviously provided you have the money, but it's like this is the cheapest way to win.
100%. But it's also a mindset thing. Like, you're looking now for those people. You're
Yeah.
looking to surround yourself with those people. Some people aren't looking because they're just in this. They don't even know they're paying 8K a month because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
And then when you tell them, oh, you could make 10K a month,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, yeah, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but you're not going to get there, man. And if you do, imagine what you could have done if you got there by yourself. You would have got to 30
Yeah.
with actual experts telling you what to do.
So true. Aside from like the mindset side, I think it's a massive thing. But I'm curious with your lead strategy now.
Yeah.
I think a lot of info product people could talk about like how they, people can get views. Like any fucking blow Joe can post a video that goes viral by chance. But when you have an offer, how are you going about? Like, what systems are you making sure you have in place to make sure that as many people as possible who see your videos
Yeah.
or follow you, A, get converted onto the free course, and then B, become a platinum member? Like, what does your actual conversion strategy look like there?
So conversion strategy right now, if you go through Old Mate's book,
Yeah.
we've got market, offer, persuasion.
Yeah.
Market right now is good in match betting.
Yeah.
It's good enough. It's not. Well, Moses said it's either growing or dying. I would say it's more on the side of dying, the match betting space, which
Yeah.
means it's technically a poor market, but we've invented our own market in other areas of match betting to make it a good market.
Yeah.
So that's okay, good. Our offer is shit. Like, it's just shit. It's unclear right now.
Yeah.
And then persuasion, we're elite. Because we
And
have
to be clear, you're not saying the actual offering is shit. It's just
No.
the way you describe it. Is
the
shit.
way it's presented is
Yeah.
just not clear.
Yeah.
People don't know. Now it's going to be, okay, free course, like I said before, 45 minutes, $1,000, platinum, pay $1,000, make $1,000 a month. That's a clear offer.
Yeah.
Then persuasion is where we win. So we will talk to people, we'll show them manually, we'll explain manually, we'll show them the value, like you said, we'll describe it properly.
Yeah.
But publicly, it's not displayed correctly. So we've got a member acquisition team who get on free calls. We have members, the team in the DMs who talk to people personally. So we're relying heavily on persuasion right now. So when we get, 1,000 people to our free course, if we don't get on the phone with them or talk to them, we're going to lose a lot of them. They're not going to convert to platinum because of the way that that's designed. So currently we're fixing that. That's what my job has been for the last 2-3 months in the business, is fix the free course. Now that we've done that, we know that conversion is going to go up because we know that it's clearer. We know that they're going to have a clear offer. We know that they're going to get to the end of that free course and be like, fuck, this is a no-brainer to join Platinum now. And then they get into the community, right? So we then can put more shit in the top. So we can put paid ads, we can scale that to fucking 10K a month more.
Just fill your top of funnel, let them
Literally, we can do that now and we'll get conversion, right? Which we've done with paid ads. We introduced paid ads start of this year and it probably 2 to 3x our free course signups.
Yeah.
However, we're in a position now, we haven't mastered paid ads, it's still not going efficiently. We've worked out that the paid ads were garbage in terms of what type of member were coming through. They would do 2 videos and fuck off.
Yeah.
So something was wrong, whether it's the content, the copy, whether it's the landing page, not sure. But we've worked out there's an issue there. But fundamentally, if everything else is fixed and whatever else, the fucking free course offer is fucked.
Yeah.
So fix that first. And then put things around that. As opposed to being like, oh, fix this. Bro, fix the fucking main thing that everyone can go to. Then just be like, make 10 lead magnets, send out free bookie lists, PDFs, videos, but everything goes to that free course. And then from there, everyone's going to be like, fuck, there's a free course that works. They're going to send it to their mates. It's essentially, it's not going to be as good as $100 million offers, but if it's that good, people are just going to start sending it to their mates. Hey, bro, these guys are making me $1,000.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you not send that on? It's free, man. Do it.
And then on so for you guys, obviously you've got your Instagram. Someone sees your video, they follow you. A lot of people would be in that position where they might know how to get a viewer or a follower. Then you've got your free course in your bio, easily accessible. Are you doing any manual work to get a new follower or a new commenter or a new liker onto the free course?
Yeah, there's the teams doing, well, they're not cold DMs.
But outbound.
But yeah, outbound DMs from any follower. When we went through a period where we got like 4,000 followers in a week. We obviously couldn't DM every single one. But they're getting a voice message to every follower asking them 3 questions to start a conversation. Because we know over the course of the last 5 years, conversations are what gets us the most
100
buy-in. If you talk to people, you talk to them personally, that's our biggest POD, our point of difference from day one has been personalization. You DM us. I'm sending you 5 minutes. Angus, hey bro, what's going on? What do you do? How much money you have? Are you a gambler? And then I'm going to talk to you back. I'm not going to be like, hey bro, do this free course and fucking watch these videos.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you. Hey, you come in with a question. Hey, I don't know, I've got 2 betting accounts and I lose this much money. And it's like, hey, you shouldn't be learning how to make money. You need to change your mindset. Then you've helped them. They then gain trust and then they want to do more.
It's so crazy. It's
personalization is huge.
A lot of people they'll start a business and then they'll like adopt the mindset of like trying to be leveraged too early because obviously you're huge on leverage, but like having a fucking ManyChat bot is not going to make sales. It's like having you like if you're unless you're making fucking $1 million a year and your time is better spent doing anything else than talking to your customers, you should literally be in the trenches on your phone, like DMing, sending voice messages, providing as much value as you can to people who come to your page, because that's what's going to get someone from a view to a free course, and once they're in that for you guys or whatever the equivalent is for any business, then they're so much more likely to buy. And it's like not like the end goal is always money, but in terms of like can make an efficient conversion, like getting like I think it's remarkable that you guys still do that and you have a team that can help you do that now, because so many people would get the views and the followers, they have the fucking ability to send a message and they'll just sit there and go like, oh, like, you know, hopefully they click the links in my bio and there's nothing of it.
Yeah, you have to stand out. People still get amazed. Like, hey bro, you send a fucking 5-minute voice message to me. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, that's what we do. Like, we want to help you.
Yeah.
But when you said the end goal is money or the end goal is to make them buy, it is, because this is a cheat code. When you know your service actually is going to help someone, you actually have no shame in selling it.
Yeah.
And this is something I've got over in the past year. I used to tiptoe around it, like not really like talking about it.
You don't want to be considered salesy,
no,
but like when
bro,
you know
it fucking works, and if you don't join it, you're losing.
Yeah.
Like if you pay $1,000, you're winning. If you don't, you're losing. So I'm going to tell you to join.
I'm curious, out of match betting for you, at what point, like how much money would someone have to be earning in other ventures before you say, oh, I probably wouldn't do match betting? Like, what is the opportunity cost?
So I get what you're saying.
Like if Warren Buffett came to you and said, hey JP, should I start match betting? You'd probably be like, no mate, it's not worth your time. But how much, like if someone's earning $250K a year in a salary, would you say start match betting? Like how, at what point do you think it's like?
I would say more around
time.
Well, like net worth more so. Because if they're earning $250K but they're only saving 50, they might have 50K to their name. So they need more money. So if you got 10K to your name and you want more money, there's no investment out there, and people are gonna just be like, that's buyer status. I promise you, I did a video on this yesterday, so it's fresh in my mind. There's 3 reasons, right? The first reason is there's 0 risk. Thanks. There's no other industry on the planet that has no risk. You go to crypto, you go to stocks, you go to fucking forex, you go to housing. You rely on the market moving your way. It goes up or down. Match betting, you place fucking bets with the bookies, free money, and you make money.
And before people get confused and call you out about this, like, literally just watch a video on like what hedge.
Yeah, this is not gambling.
It's not gambling. Like, it's literally match betting is just place bet here.
Yes.
You cover your losses.
Yeah.
It's like
the bookmaker gives you a bonus bet because they want you to get addicted. You put that bonus bet on team A. You put cash on another bookmaker on the team that they're playing, and no matter what, you're getting more money than you actually put in. That's the basic concept.
Say for someone like me, like, say you were pitching me on match betting. Like, I've obviously got a company, I make good money. It's like, would you be convincing me to spend my money in match betting?
No.
Or my time?
No. Because I know what you're doing financially and your business is your priority. Like, you could make 10, 20K a month off match betting if you got to a higher scale. Like, we're saying these numbers, like these are higher end numbers. If you just started the free course right now, you're not going to make 10K a month. You're going to make probably $1,000 a month, and then if you want to get to month 6, you might get a bit better. You might make 2, 3K a month. For most people, that's a lot of money. But for you, you've got a full-on life on your business. Your life is a business now.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's stupid for you to do.
So but for someone who maybe has time. Like for someone who works a job, right, and it's like you're on a salary, you can't put more hours into your job and get more output. Obviously, for someone like me, the more work I put in, the more output I get, and there's arbitrage there, whatever. But for someone who's working a salary, it probably makes sense. Or if you don't have a vehicle right now, it probably makes sense to, like, why would you not spend 5 to 10 hours?
Yeah, that's the thing. You can do 5 hours a week, and you would make easily 1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Once you learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And that 5 hours can be just a Saturday. Most people are doing fuck all on a Saturday anyway. Some people are fucking gambling and losing anyway, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So like you have to say that. That's the audience. People who are already gambling can do the same thing that they're doing and profit without risking a cent.
And the arbitrage is like, for someone who works a job, like the average Aussie earns what, like 70k a year or something, maybe even less. Like say it's 70k,
around that.
75k. If someone can spend 5 hours a week, so 10% more time on work in a week, say someone works a 50-hour week, and they earn 12k extra a year,
Tax free as well.
tax free, that is way more. Like that extra 10% of time they're putting into work equates to way more than 10% of increase in income.
If you did that for a year as well, you wouldn't just make 12k because you'd work out how to make more. So if you actually did it for 12 months, this is what our first day one agenda of Platinum is. You need to dedicate 12 months. Now that will turn a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But think of anything you've ever done in life. Has it succeeded if it was less than 12 months? Probably not. So if you do it though, it's scalable. This is where like opportunities will open up where you can make more money. Like I made 300k off it. If I knew what I did now, that's not a lot of money by the way. That was a 7 years, part-time, sporadically, traveled, just random makes money, stop, don't do it for 6 months. If I knew what I did now and from all the shit we've learned over the past 5 years, bro, I reckon I would have made fucking 2 to 5 million.
Yeah.
Which I don't care. Someone asked me before in the gym, a member, he's like, hey, do you not regret not making more off this? I'm like, no, because
You got the experience you needed.
yeah, this is what I want to do.
Posted a tweet about that the other day where it was like, I don't know, I like look at some people who are like 20, 21 and hustling and all power to them. But like when I was 21, I literally made like 30k on crypto.
Oh, yeah, I watched.
And then I
read that
took
tweet.
like 7 months off anything. But that 7 months wasn't like, you know, like I didn't work, I partied, I surfed, I did nothing. I spent 30k and just for no upside.
Yeah.
But in that 7 months was when I like sat down and decided like, oh, I kind of actually like just living on my own terms. Like I'm going to 100% commit to freelancing and quit my office job. And it was like just having a bit more freedom and clarity was like, that is the upside sometimes. So I'm sure you were in the same boat. If you made 300k match betting in 6-7 years and you traveled the world and did all sorts of random shit.
Yeah, I would have spent $250,000 on travel.
Yeah.
So like, I don't care that people. Someone was in my TikTok comments the other day. He's like, bro, how dumb is that? 200, you could have bought a house. I'm like, yeah, man, but I went fucking 20 overseas trips and you've never left Australia. Like I didn't write that, but the experience I learned from travel at that age, like 22, I will say my parents. This is not including the trips with my parents. My parents taught me. Whether they taught me how to travel, they just took me overseas when I was young, so I was lucky enough to do that. That gave me the bug, I guess, to want to explore different things. And then I started doing it solo. Man, the shit you learn when you travel, it's like going to uni, like fast track. Like you go on overseas for a month by yourself, you come back a different person.
The independence.
Yeah.
No one's going to save you when you're traveling.
Yeah, you just learn, you throw yourself in the deep end, like you go to random places, you might get a bit scared sometimes, but it's just how you learn.
And then I guess like some of the big takeaways from this convo, like obviously it's like, fuck, I think this has been so valuable for so many people, but like,
Hopefully.
yeah, but it's like, you know, leveraging your time, well, like leveraging your money to buy time is key. Like not removing yourself from like key drivers of your business. Like if lead acquisition is like, for you guys, what drives your business forward? Like you guys need to be overseeing that. Obviously like when you split your roles and whatever, like, but someone has to be overseeing that channel and you need to flog it. What else have we done? Like the split roles, like it's important to like let people have their breathing room and learn to let go.
Yeah, the control thing for me on that point was fucked because I was always the big dog in the business until the start of this year. Now we're just full equal.
Yeah.
And not that we weren't equal, but it was just like I felt like I was always ahead of the boys. Yeah. But they've caught up massively, which is elite now, and now we're all equal playing field.
Have you spoken to them about that?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think that do you think it was reality? Like, do you think was it an ego thing, or do you think there was actually signs that you were operating at a higher level and they needed to catch up?
No, the first 3 years definitely me operating high level.
Yeah.
But then when it became the gap closer, because like diminishing returns, they're going to catch up, right? Yeah. Which is, it's not a competition, but now we're all fucking, and we're pushing each other higher and higher, but it's slower than fucking month 1 to month 4.
Yeah, yeah.
But we've had mass blues, like massive fights about revenue shares and percentages, and one person will go overseas for 3 months or 2 months or 1 month, and they come back and just get fucking rinsed. Fuck you, Tom, you're not doing anything, you're not pulling your weight, you're just going overseas 4 weeks, so you just remember this like recency bias.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I'll go overseas, fuck you, JP, you need to get your percentage down, like you're not doing enough. And then we just have these massive fights, like so toxic. And then at the start of this year, we're like, fuck this shit. We're changing this culture of this business. No more fuck arounds of like percentage changes and shit like that.
Yeah.
We're just nailing this. So for me, it was control to like not be in certain areas of the business.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, he might not do this as good as I could do it, so I want to still be involved. But if it's taking up 20% of my resources and I can delete that and he's going to do it at 80% of my result, then it's a win. Like,
Yeah.
just don't do it. Let him do it.
That's
and
a
then slowly doing
perfectionism
that.
thing.
100%.
Like, I feel like when I first met you, you were more of a perfectionist than you are now.
Yeah.
Like, and oh fuck, I see it in business owners all the time. Like, if you spending an extra 10 hours on a project that should have taken you 10 hours to get an extra 5% output.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes to protect the brand, it's important. Like, I understand, like, there's elements where you can't drop your standards, but fuck me, I had a conversation with a client yesterday that were like, how are we going to work on with you to ensure that like we're making the messaging like as key and as tight as possible moving forward, so like there's no discrepancies and our branding is like perfect. And like we've done all this work for them, and at most they changed like 4 or 5 words here and there. And I was like, I just said to him, like, you're wasting your time. Like,
Well, if it's like perfection's the enemy of progress. If it's not actually going to get done because you're waiting to fix 5 words, then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
But I've done this for 4 years, and
Yeah.
even some of the emails you've sent us probably changed like 3 words, and you're probably thinking, "Fuck, bro, like just send the fucking email."
sometimes it's key.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's 3 words can make all the difference when you're writing direct response copy. But like, fuck, when it comes to a lot of branded stuff, like I would just spend like, there's no worse. Like, and I've probably worked with over 100 different people who own e-commerce stores of all varying successes, and the most successful ones I've worked like the biggest brand we're working with at the moment is probably doing like, they're on track to probably do like 40 million or something, and he does not review anything. Like, it's crazy. Like, we'll send him stuff, he'll just be like, fucking do it. Like, just do whatever you fucking want. Pretty much like telling us to do whatever I want, and then we'll have a brand that's doing like flat out doing like, you know, 500, 600K a year. It's like still solid, but like they will just rinse every little thing, and you're like, bruh, you need to actually genuinely learn leverage, because like you're killing yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think like people like Sabri, I think he still writes his own copy.
Yeah. Some things
Which
you
is
gotta
good.
be. Yeah.
I mean, if he's writing the copy and then it just gets sent to a processor, like a system, and they just get it done for him, that's fine.
yeah.
But yeah, there's ways in which you need to do that. Like that for him that's a high leverage task.
That's leaning into your strengths.
Yeah.
Like, for him, he's a top 0.1% copywriter probably.
Yeah.
There's probably no one that he could outsource to that's going to write better copy than him.
Yeah, well, it's the 80-20 rule, like 20, and then it goes again. It's like 80% of your results come from 20% of your work.
Yeah.
And then you split that down further again, and then it ends up being like, I think 4%, if that's right.
Yeah.
Becomes,
Yeah.
The
It's
whole-
like 4% of your inputs determine probably like 96% of your outputs.
Yeah.
And like, for him, the copy is like probably that. But for most people who think, but most people also have bias into their own skill sets. Like most people who I would say in that example, like review copy, like to the nth degree, or they'll review, or they'll try to give input on like design work, or like, you know, they'll obsess over their website. It's like they often like are interfering with people who've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, you're just not going to drive results. Like, knowing when to let go of things is very, very important. Like for you guys now, like because you're in your own lanes, the skills, like you said though, like you guys have closed the gap and getting better, but now you're probably branching out and getting better in your own skill sets.
Yeah.
So like there will come a point in 6 months where like there would be no point in you telling Tom how to do anything in sales, because he's going to be the fucking weapon at running a sales team. And there's no point in them talking to you about filming a VSL, because you've just filmed like 45 minutes of free course and refined it for like 6 months.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't have a clue of anything to do with tech. If something goes wrong with tech, Steve, fix it.
Yeah.
Like previously, like, everyone's working on that issue. It's like now just Steve, take it over.
Thanks JP for sitting down and made like insane insights for anyone, whether they're doing any business, info products particularly. There's going to be a lot of like really niche takeaways there. So yeah, thanks for having us, JP. All right, so if you are interested in match betting, like I'm not an affiliate, but I have seen the power of it. Obviously, I've worked with them. I think it's a bit of a no-brainer if you're someone who's just looking to make some coin on the side as a start, and then, you know, sky's the limit, as we've discussed. So where should people go to hit you up?
So Instagram, the System AUS, and then across social media, that's all the same tag. YouTube as well, we've got about 3K subs now. And then if you want to do our free course, that's your best starting point. The systemaus.com.au, you'll find a free course there. So yeah.